Imagine this. You're finishing up your novel, the project you've been working on for the last few months, and you're almost done, and then randomly one day on the internet, you stumble across a book that looks almost exactly like yours, and you find out that somebody else has already done the idea. What do? Do you stop writing? Do you keep writing? In this video, we're going to talk about that. This video is brought to you by my book, 150 Self-Publishing Questions Answered, the book for writers wanting to know the A to Z of writing, publishing, and book marketing. It'll give you clarity, confidence, and teach you how to turn your imagination into income. Level up your author business today by visiting authorlevelup.com/150. The book is available in ebook, paperback, and audio, narrated by me. That's authorlevelup.com/150. What's up, guys? Michael Aran here with Author Level Up, helping you master the craft of writing. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and click that little bell, ding, 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 to get notifications every time I have a new writing video. And in this writing video, we're talking about that gut punch that you feel when you find out that somebody has already done your novel idea. Now, I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me. It's one of my superpowers, apparently. You write a novel and then somebody else has done it. And I've become immune to it. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why. First things first, when you discover this, it's going to feel like a gut punch. It's going to feel like all the wind gets taken out of you. Because, if you're anything like me, you want to create something that's unique. You want to create something that's going to sell, but you also, there's that ego part of what you're writing that you want to do something different. And it feels really, really just awful when you realize that you're not the first person that's done something. And what's the saying? There's nothing new under the sun. So first thing to do is get up from your desk, go on a walk, go do something else for about 15 minutes, get some fresh air, and then come back to the computer so you can focus. Then I want you to consider this. Might it be true that even though your book has been done before, the idea has been done, one author or multiple authors has done it, might it be true that that's actually a good thing? I mean, think about it. If you write a book that's about a vampire that goes to college, and you find out that there's a book or multiple books about a vampire that goes to college, if readers really like those other books by other authors, they're probably going to want more books with vampires who go to college, and so therefore your book is going to be a welcome sight to them. It's kind of one of these weird things that, like, writers, we want to be different and unique, but readers, they want books that are more similar than they do different, most of the time. And so that actually can be a really good thing for you and validation that there's a market for your book. And then some people say, oh, but copyright, I'm worried about copyright infringement and so on and so forth. Well, remember, I did a video series on copyright, guys, and I'll throw a YouTube card above my head so you click that and watch it if you haven't already. But in that video series, I talk about how copyright protects the expression of the idea. It doesn't protect the idea. So anyone can write a book about a vampire going to college, but no one can write a book in the same words, in the same order. So if you're writing your story, this is how it happens 9 times out of 10. You've already started your story, or you're almost done with it, or you're done with it, and then you find out that this other book exists. Copyright infringement is not your problem at all. Focus on making your story yours, and you'll be fine. But what I would worry about, and worry is in the positive sense here, is the marketing. So now you've got a great marketing opportunity, right? Because now you can say, if you liked this book, you're going to love my book. So don't think about it as oh, this sucks, man. I hate this, and I don't want to write this book anymore. Think about it as a marketing opportunity, because now you've got other books that you can draw comparisons to yours on. And remember, and I can't say this enough, only you can write the story in the way that you can. Only you can write the story in the way that you can. So focus on making your story unique. Focus on what makes it different, even though it's similar to other books in the market, and that is the right way to think about it. And consider turning lemons into lemonade. So let me tell you a story. So I wrote a book in my first year of publishing. It was called Theo and the Festival of Shadows. And it's about this kick-ass, sword-carrying teddy bear who travels into this nightmare dimension to save his owner from the boogeyman. It's one part Toy Story, one part David Bowie's Labyrinth, and then another part Choose Your Own Adventures. And I thought, oh man, this is so unique. I'm gonna be known as the teddy bear guy. There's no book on the market like this. So I published a book, and then 2 or 3 months later, I find out that there's another author who published a book around the same time about a kick-ass teddy bear who does martial arts, who's in this like monster land. And oh man, it felt like, oh crap, I felt horrible when I saw it. It was kind of funny, so we ended up connecting just kind of randomly. He lives in California, I live in Iowa, and we were laughing about how is it that two people that live in two different parts of the country can come up with a very similar story idea. And so we were chatting and we were like, hey, what if we wrote a story together? And so we were playing around with this idea of writing like a teddy bear novel where both of our heroes kind of get together. And that didn't quite work out because it turned out that even though the books were very similar on the surface, they were actually quite different when you actually started reading them. So that's another thing to think about. But we started playing around with this other idea of, what if we wrote another series, just a brand new series together? Because if great minds think alike, maybe we'll be compatible with a plot. What we came up with was the series Modern Necromancy, which is about a guy who becomes a necromancer to bring his fiancée back from the dead and opens up Pandora's box in the process and has to save the world. So it's a race around the world, takes place all over the world, different countries. It's a lot of fun. It's a bit supernatural thriller, a bit urban fantasy, and just a ton of fun. And we would have never written that if we hadn't written a similar story, and connected with each other. And if you're interested in any of the novels that I just mentioned, I will drop a link to them in the video description. I would be obliged if you were interested in checking them out. So anyway, just make sure to turn your lemons into lemonade when they happen. Don't freak out too much if someone has already done your story. It's not the end of the world, and it might even be an opportunity for you. So with that, I'd love to know what you guys think. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been in the 11th hour and then found out that your idea was taken, so to speak? I would love to know, and let's learn from each other in the comments. So take care, and I will talk to you in the next video.